Had I been the judge, I would lock that bitch up so fast, make her head swim. As a matter of fact, I would tell the police person, drag this bitch out of here, lock her in the dirtiest cell you have back there, and don't give her any water. You love Donald Trump?
No. Why would I love Trump? There's love him on a spiritual level, and then there's love him on a political and personal level. And no, I don't love him on a political and personal level. I don't think he's a good person.
Are you angry at him?
Yes, because he disappoints me.
Is it possible that in your anger, you're not seeing things clear?
It's possible, sure.
Well, why take the risk to be angry and run that risk of not seeing things clearly?
Because it also says in Psalms that you're supposed to hate
making
evil.
the wrong decision.
It also says in Psalms you're supposed to hate evil. And when he does bad things, I hate it.
I did not vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I am voting for Donald Trump in 2020. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump in 2020 when I didn't 4 years ago. I was simply wrong about Donald Trump on policy.
As a matter of fact, Ben owed me a lunch.
Okay.
Because we had a bet that he said that Trump would lose, and I said he would win during the primary, so he owed me a lunch. Ben is a good guy.
Just make sure it's not on Saturday. You won't be getting that lunch on Saturday. He shuts everything off.
When you say you people, what do you mean?
The complaining black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
He doesn't look professional. Hold up.
Yeah, no.
Why is she barking around?
You're traumatizing them. You expect it on Google me. My name is Jasmine Abdullah. I just sat here.
Are you her boss or something?
No, it's about black
Why are
love.
you? Don't let that lady push you around.
No, it's not a no. Because I feel more. It's about love, right?
Yeah.
He said
I feel attacked
he said
by
everything
you,
was bad.
but
No, he can't
I fight.
You do? Is this a strong woman running right now?
Well, actually, I think that's probably the best thing.
I know I should have, but
There is no rule from God. Just because you're married, you have to stay in an evil marriage. If the woman or the man is unwilling to change, you quietly start working on yourself. And you don't have to, that marriage wasn't built under God. 99.99999.9, but 0.9% of marriages are not done under God. Just because the people say under God, that doesn't mean it's true. And a lot of people are stuck in marriages because they said, well, the Bible says you're not supposed to divorce. Or something like that. But that's for men and women who have truly started to working on themselves as individuals and they're overcoming. That's for them. That's not for these other marriages that are made in hell. Most marriages are made in hell, and all you catch is hell. And you stand in a marriage that was built in hell under the name of God, and it's destroying you and your children. You really need to see that they're doing nothing to make America better. And they're letting these people in for money, for votes, and to turn America into a socialist society, to control the people. What are you going to do if and when, God forbid, there's a terrorist attack? And you're dumb enough to keep voting the same people in. And then you complain. You're getting what you voted for. The government, the representatives of our government, they don't care about we the people at all, none of them. Republicans or Democrats. The only one that does care about the country is Donald Trump, the great white hope. And they're trying desperately to keep him away because he does care. He wants to make the country better. And they don't want that. If you notice, whenever you try to improve your life, make your life better, don't your family and people around you attack you to stop you? And they're still fighting, trying to send our money over to Ukraine. I want the blacks to know how violent they are. And not all, but most. And they've been told that the white man is their problem. Even the adult males are blaming white people. You know you're bad off if you're an adult man and you blame someone else that you can't make it in life. They're holding you back. They don't like me and all that kind of stuff, right? No wonder the black women and children are doing it because the guys are acting like the women, blaming somebody else. They blame white supremacy. But as a result, of that anger that starts in the home. Every human being hates their mothers until they forgive. These black kids hate their mothers, but they've been told it's not the mama. It's either the daddy that they hate or it's white people. It's racism. So I want the blacks to know that's not true, in hopes that they will start to examine themselves to get better and be free in life. There are black people who defend smash and grab. They think that's reparation. They're okay with it. Isn't that amazing? The great white hope is still moving forward. I have said from the very beginning, since Donald Trump first ran for president and won, I have said, watch out, keep a little space between you and the great white hope, because there is something unique and interesting about him. You just don't see it every day, and you don't see it in most people. Most human beings cannot handle pressure, and they've gone after his family. They've said horrible things about him, and then the people who are watching the news and listen to it, they repeat it. Donald Trump has set an amazing pathway to dealing with the issues of life. And if you don't pay attention, you either hate him or you love him to the point you're not watching him, you have identified him, you're going to miss the whole lesson in dealing with this. You really are. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, as a black guy, don't you think Black Lives Matter too?
I don't think that Black Lives Matter at all. I think lives,
all lives matter.
All matter. Because black people, if you know, they don't care about their own lives. They're fat, high blood pressure, they're angry, having their babies out of wedlock. Black women and black men don't respect one another. They hate all white people, and they hate the Mexicans. They love being on welfare, affirmative actions, reparations.
Okay.
They have no moral character.
Those are sort of Fox News talking points. I think that's not true.
Those are Jesse Peterson talking points. I grew up under Jim Crow law. I know about the colors only, the whites only. I grew up in Alabama at that time.
My gosh.
And black people were better off then than they are today. And they were doing just fine until the so-called civil rights movement came along. Jesse Jackson and all those guys said, oh, this is bad, this is racism. And they became the leader of the people, the blacks. And then they sold the blacks over to the Democratic Party. And it's just been downhill for the blacks ever since. They don't have families anymore for the most part. They are begging and blaming the white people. Enough is never enough. We've given them everything they asked for. They're still begging and blaming the white people. Why did the blacks get worse than they were before the civil rights movement?
I disagree totally.
In what? I was there.
I disagree totally. I don't know if you really think you're better off now or worse off now. That may be your personal experience. But I know that for the country and for the people in our country, we're better off now.
No, the black people.
That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it.
You're the founder of White History Month.
Yes.
You want to make sure that everyone supports White History Month.
Absolutely.
Do you agree or disagree with the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act?
I totally disagree because, as we all know, George Floyd was a black, unemployed drug addict with a criminal record.
First of all, let's clear something up, sir. You really should be ashamed of yourself. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's dead because a cop killed him.
No, he's dead because he was a drug addict.
Let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
You
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You may learn something.
What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have
God.
a good. Get this clown off my show. I appreciate you. Thank you for being.
I would say that being a black conservative pretty much categorically means you don't have much common sense, yeah.
Do you hate black conservatives?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I do love all people, but I hate black conservatives.
What the? You think they should vote like the radical blacks who are voting for Democrats?
Absolutely.
So you're saying blacks don't have the common sense to make good decisions for themselves?
Black conservatives? Oh no, because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced what it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state. It seems to me they're the ones who should have the greatest interest in voting against it.
How is it that when I was growing up, under the Jim Crow laws, on the plantation, that black people did better than they are today? They had families, they got married, abortion was unheard of, they bought land, built businesses, they became professionals, they went to college, those that wanted to go. Why were blacks able to do better then than they are today?
Because white folk got more clever. I'll stop treating them like victims. I'll say, hey, you gotta work hard, you gotta overcome your status. At the same time, white folk got more clever.